The first to bring you the hottest DJ gear on the planet. We are agiprodj.com.
What's up, everybody? Ty from AGI Pro DJ. We're at stop number 3 on the Reloop RP-8000 US tour, brought to you by AGI Pro DJ. And our friend Charles, also known as DJ EYECON, is about to give you a fantastic review and comparison to a Technics 1200, the M5G variety, of the RP-8000. So sit back and watch this review. It's fantastic. Charles, you did a great job. Everybody check out DJ EYECON. All of his social media links are down below. He's a friend of ours, and we really appreciate the time you took to shoot this quick review. Check it out, DJ EYECON's review of the RP-8000, stop number 3 of the Reloop RP-8000 US tour, brought to you by AGI Pro DJ.
What's going on, everybody? This is EYECON, and today we are in the studio for the Reloop RP-8000 US Tour. My sponsor, AGI Pro DJ, teamed up with Reloop, and they selected some very talented DJs across the US to do some routines on their new advanced hybrid torque turntable, the RP-8000, as well as get some review videos. So that's what we're going to do today. So, first things first, what's inside the box? You get the 8000, obviously. There's a Reloop slip mat in there. You also get some right angle RCA cables. You get 2 right angle standard USB cables. You get 2 standard USB cables. You get 2 power cables. Now this is a straight power cable. This is the one that comes with the unit, so keep this in mind for just a second. This here is the exact same power hookup, but it's a right angle cable. So for you guys that are going to use these in battle mode like I do, it is going to be imperative that you hook these up in order to fit these right beside the mixer. AGI is actually stocking these, so whenever you order your set, make sure you tell them that you want some right angle power cables as well. I've been using Technics for a very, very long time, so I'm sure you guys want to see a side-by-side comparison of what the 8000 and the Technics unit looks like. I have a set of 5Gs here in the studio, so I'm going to put one of those on the table and give you a side-by-side, really close-up comparison of the difference between the two. I've been learning this DJ game since I was 12 years old. I started on Technics. I still use Technics to this day. So I thought I would give you an idea of Technics' flagship model, the MK5G, compared to the new RP-8000. So let's start down here in the corner. You have a start-stop button on the RP-8000 just like you have on the 5G. There's 33, 45 buttons, same thing on the Technics unit. On the RP-8000 you do have a reverse switch, which will reverse the platter. Technics unit does not have that. On the power switch here, you have a little bit taller tower, so you get better light coverage on the actual record. As compared to the Technics unit, it's a little bit smaller. There's white LEDs in here and red LEDs on the Technics unit. That's the way it comes from the factory. Now, on the RP-8000, you have these MIDI mappable pads. There's 8 pads. It comes with a cue, loop, sample, and user setting, so you can map these to whatever you like. If it's cue points, or if it's samples or whatever you want, you can do it with this. Also with this section, you can utilize 2 of these at the same time, which will take the first 4 and map them to cue points, or the next 4 and map them to samples or loops or whatever you would like. That's a really, really good feature moving forward with technology on these 8000. Down here in this corner, you have another start-stop button compared to the Technics unit where you have this 45 adapter. Now this is also typically where the Novation dicer would go. On these 8000s, dicer is really not going to be an option. However, you don't really need it because of these pads here. Now the RP-8000 also has this scroll knob. You could map this to a filter or whatever you would like to do with this as well. Or you can push it down to tab between the crates and the library. You can also scroll the crates or scroll the library. That's a very, very good feature as well. My favorite part about these 8000s is this guy right here, the pop-up light. If you take a look at it, the LED is actually on the outside of the cylinder. So you get incredible light coverage over the entire record. Much better than what you get with the Technics unit. And this is white from the RP, and this one is blue on the 5G. Also, with the 5G, this one is connected. It goes up and it goes down, but that's all it does. The light's inside of it. So servicing this is a lot more difficult than servicing the 8000. And I would assume there's probably some guys AGI Pro DJ out there that are already working on customizing these, so if you guys would like to get different colors on these, you can do so. It's just a standard RCA connection. This is very, very clever. It just pops in, it pops out, that's all there is to it. Moving on to the pitch section, on the RP-8000 you can go plus or minus 8 or plus or minus 16. There's also a quartz lock is what they call it. If you look at the Technics unit, there's a plus 8, plus 16, and this reset button here does the exact same thing as what the quartz lock does. It locks it at 0. So that's basically about the same. On the RP-8000, you can also hit both of these together and you can go plus or minus 50, which you may or may not use a lot, but if you want it, it's there. Also, a great feature on these 8000s are these two adjustments here. You can adjust the start break in digital increments here, or you can adjust the torque, which is also in digital increments. The torque on this turntable is amazing. I almost hate to say it, but I really prefer the torque on the RP over the Technics unit. I never thought I'd say that, but the torque on this is amazing. You really need to try to get your hands on it to figure it out. Also, you have a digital pitch readout on here, so this is great, especially for battle guys, so you can tag exactly where your pitches need to be. There's not going to be any guessing like what there kind of is on the Technics unit. As far as the tone arm goes, they're both basically the same. The RP accepts a standard cartridge, just like every other turntable out there, so you'll be fine there. The only other thing to look at on these two is what's under the platter. On the Technics unit, you have a dust cover here. You can remove this dust cover to access anything or modify anything you need inside the turntable. And kind of take a look at what the platter looks like, and it is very similar to what the RP unit is going to be. Now if you look at this platter, they're both basically the same. Not exactly, but they're both very the same. They feel the same, they're about the same weight. You guys have been DJing for a long time, know that Technics has a smell. It doesn't smell like Technics. However, it feels about basically the same. But if you look at the RP here, all of this is basically covered up. The spindle about looks the same. The bearing assembly down in here, for what I can see, looks to be close to being the same. But this is what you're looking at here. Also, moving forward, everybody's customizing gear nowadays. So the great thing about the 8000 model compared to the Technics is that this is metal. 12-inch Skins actually manufactures a magnetic skin for this. You could always get a sticky skin for this model, but some guys don't like to do that. So moving forward, a magnetic skin is a much better option. Later on in this review, I will show you this turntable with AGI's 12-inch skin on it. About the only other difference between these two is to look at the RCA connections. Now on the Technics unit, the RCA, the ground cable, and the power cable are inside here, so it's very hard to service them. On this unit, everything plugs directly into the side, as well as a USB cable and a USB link cable. So let's flip this thing over and give you a better look of what those look like. Now we're looking at the side connections of the RP-8000. Starting from left to right, you have the RCA connectors that do have a phono and line switch. To the right of that, you have a USB out, and then you also have a turntable link in. So you would run a cable from deck 2 from USB out into the turntable link on the left deck, and then on the left deck you would go from the USB out into the computer, and that is what would link the turntables up for all the MIDI functionality. To the right of that, you have a power switch option, so if you're overseas or if you're here in the US, it'll accommodate both of those. And then to the right of that is the power in. So if you're setting these up in battle mode, you would obviously want your right deck to sit flush to the mixer. So like I mentioned earlier, these do come with right angle RCA cables. It comes with right angle USB cables, and like I suggested, that AGI is stocking right angle power cables. Overall, I think it's a great idea that everything plugs directly into the turntable, so down the line, if you have any problems with cables, you can just grab a new cable instead of having to go inside the turntable like you have to do on the Technics unit. So here's a look at the RP-8000 with the 12-inch Skins magnetic skin. These are extremely easy to apply. It's going to do a great job at protecting the face of this turntable. You can head over to the website at 12inchskins.com and you can download a template so you can design this, or I'm sure 12-inch wouldn't have a problem designing something for you. Now, I've had a pair of these in the studio for about 5 days, filmed a routine. Make sure you guys check out my routine so you can see how this thing works. To give you my final thoughts on it, I like this turntable a lot overall. It does have some issues, but none of those issues would prevent me from going out and purchasing this turntable. The issues that I've found is I'm still using Scratch Live. I haven't gone to Serato DJ yet. These are completely natively supported within Serato DJ, so all the lights work, all the functions work like they're pitching them. Now in Scratch Live, they do have a map that you can download and install, but some of the MIDI output lighting doesn't work here. It's not really that big of a deal. In my video, you'll see that I use the user section and I mapped these to 5 cue points. I did instant doubles on the 8th one, and I did an effects trigger on the 7th one here. And I found that when you try to drum on these, there's actually a little bit of latency, which isn't terrible, but it's enough that I can know the difference. But like I said, this is a firmware issue. This tour was basically a beta test, if you will. So they wanted to send these out to all of us and get our honest feedback on what we felt like they needed to do to improve these turntables. So we'll give them the feedback on what they need to do. They'll fix this and they'll be good to go. Also, with this scroll knob here, there is some ratcheting action on this. However, it's not really defined. So whenever you go to press it down, sometimes you'll find that you're trying to load a track and it'll tab to a different crate. Now, this isn't terrible, but it's just like any new piece of gear. You're going to have to learn how to use it efficiently. I found that over the 5 days, my skill level has already picked up as far as using this one particular feature. So, the Reloop RP-8000. I like it. I recommend it. AGI Pro DJ is offering bundle deals on these. They're listed at $7.99 on the site. However, I know that if you call them and purchase perhaps some flight cases, the right angle power cables we were talking about, they will take care of you. So, last time, I'm EYECON for AGI Pro DJ, the good people at Reloop. Thank you for watching this review. We'll see you soon.